Hey, everybody, it's Sean from OUTTAKE ESL. What I want to do today is go through a presentation I do on survival. It's kind of based on one of the more common, one of the more popular sort of activities in the ESL classroom, and you'll kind of find it in all the sort of books about ESL lessons, is the stranded on a desert island sort of activity where you need to choose objects. And I kind of built this one around that idea. I built it around also very popular in China are the outdoor survival programs like Man vs. Wild and Naked Alone and all that stuff on Discovery Channel, which having had a lot of outdoor survival experience myself personally, I just kind of find that stuff a lot of embellishment, to be honest with you. But not to say I still enjoy those programs. I have a little fun with them. Kind of did a satire one here on the channel called Man vs. Leisure. But this presentation is based on this. This would be good once again for an advanced class or an English corner, kind of ideal for that sort of circumstance. But it's also something there's certain ideas in here you can definitely bring into your ESL classroom for different proficiency levels. English corners, because the English corners have kind of a mixture of proficiency levels. There's kind of ideas in here and exercises and activities in here that you can sort of adjust or sort of isolate and put into different levels. But let's go through it real quick. Like I say, I like to start out my presentations with a discussion, and typically we would start there, especially English corners. That's where you want to start it, kind of introduce the topic, the theme. Also with classrooms, my first Alright, so like I said before, I put a lot of sound effects into, I do actually a lot of sound work, a lot of sound cues and sound audio effects in my presentations. Here I've kind of had to edit it all out because I haven't sort of figured out how to mix my internal audio with this program, OBS, right now. Working on that. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll get that straightened out, so I can kind of bring some of this. And I just kind of, it's something with presentations, you don't want to be too distracting, so I try and find relevant sounds that are unique. Sometimes I have some fun with it. Sometimes I'll go out and record, sounds from my environment and bring them back and put them in there, especially if there's sounds that I know that people are going to recognize. The heavy choir there I put in there. If you were lost somewhere where no one could help you, what would you do? What skills would you need? Where would you sleep? What would you do about the weather? What would you eat, drink? What kinds of dangerous situations might you face, and what would you do? A lot of questions, so I'd go through them really quick, and I probably wouldn't either I would give them all the questions and let the groups discuss them, maybe for 5 minutes amongst themselves in groups, or I might just kind of go through them one by one. The helicopter there, I don't know where that's actually loaded in this program. It's not loaded into the images. It's not loaded into action settings. It's not in transition. I can't find that helicopter sound right now, and I'm trying to get it out of this presentation because it's going to be loud. But anyway, my first exercise is just kind of a quick guessing of the survival zones. All right, so I got the picture here, and then I have the letters up here in the corner. And what do you think this is? Island. Spell it. Ocean. Spell it. O-C-E-A-N. Yeah, this is probably, tundra is probably a word they're not going to be. It's a little more challenging, a little more advanced, high level English. So I threw it in there. Words like desert, they're going to probably have a lot easier time with. That's why I kind of made it a spelling sort of challenge also. And here I kind of wanted to throw in just a little bit of slang, the urban jungle as a place to survive. And then I thought, as a joke, I thought I'd include the suburban jungle, which is and the malls, in Chinese cities, it's pretty well known. It's pretty recognizable. Okay, so that's our first exercise, just kind of basic spelling and vocabulary exercise, a little bit of fun. Once again, you can make that a game, challenge, anybody gets the correct answer. Here I did some survival trips, and I just kind of want to know true or false. You can eat all the plants or leaves you find. Over here you see my compass, I got T for true and I got F for false. That would be false. You can't eat all plants. True or false? True or false? You can light a fire using branches and grass. True or false? True or false? Wow, that took a lot of time to make that compass. I'm just looking back at that. I'm looking back at that compass right there, and that took a lot of time. That probably took me like 8-10 hours to make that compass work, because I had to find a spinning trigger, and then I had to find a compass image. I had to take that out and Photoshop it, the true and the false. I had to make the inner workings of that. That took a lot of time, and I made the map also. It was another part of a filter forge. The map here is part of a filter forge program, so I made that separately. With the directions on it, the compass on the map was a separate image, so I had to put all that together. These entire survival tips false, all that font had to be put together. That stationery I had to make. I made the wrinkles on it in a photo filter program. This was actually quite a bit of effort just to make this one exercise. You should insulate your body from the ground when sleeping. True or false? True. Just kind of wanted to give some factual information. I think that's something that's important too. You kind of want to keep it pretty honest, unless you're trying to make it about you're telling falsehoods. Try and bring information that's relevant to the topic. You should keep a timeline so you can always know how long you've been away. Looks great though. Man, when I got it done, I was like, this looks really good. I know. My bullshit meter is like, you're not budget. Bullshit meter, when I watched all the other, you watch other people's stuff, my bullshit meter. This one is gold. You should eat all your food on the first day. Without drinking water 5 or 7 days. I think it's 3. Shelter should open to the wind for good ventilation. Savagery falls. I'm freezing to death. Shelter must be large enough for you to lie down comfortably. This is true. You must stay positive and not panic in all circumstances, not just survive. If you want to get through life, sometimes you must stay positive and not panic. But that's not to say panic has its advantages. Panic can be survival mode sometimes. If hungry, you can eat insects and calibers, but not all of them. Of course, true. That's one of the funniest things that, all these survival shows, I find that just kind of like one of the greatest. They like actually, I always joke like bugs and animals be like, oh no, they're coming again. The most fear, here they come again. They're coming to eat us all. All the bugs will go crazy. It's just so sensationalist. It's like they go out there to eat bugs. Like, yeah, but you don't have to eat bugs now. It's a bit like when you come to China and I went to Beijing and one of the things too is there's a alleyway there, a hutong that's known for scorpions on bugs, and it's really just kind of compelled by the sensationalism and tourism that in this one area you can find all those sort of exotic things, and they were disgusting. It was disgusting. Nah, I won't do that again. If I don't have to eat bugs, I'm not going to eat bugs. But yeah, you can eat them. Whoopee. Then I decided to go over equipment here. Just kind of another vocabulary exercise. What is the name of the following piece of equipment? An axe, an awl, an ewe, and an ox. Yeah, I'd make it a competition just to kind of make it fun because it's just kind of straightforward. What is the name of the following piece of equipment? A riff, an inner tube, a canoe, or a raft. Advanced kind of exercise here. What is the name of the following equipment? A blintz, a flint, a gnat, a skin. It's not a skin, it's a flint. What is the name of the following equipment? An urn, a canteen, a carafe, a pitcher. It is not. It is not. It is not. It is a canteen. What is this thing here? Is it a heater, a blanket, a tinfoil, or a radiator? It is not a heather. It is not a tinfoil. It is not a radiator. It is a blanket. And you can buzz through it really quick, or you can take your time. So it kind of depends how they're reacting to it. What is the name of this? A buckle, a belay, a pulley, or a carabiner? It's not a buckle. It's not a belay. It's not a pulley. It's a carabiner. Popular keychains. What is the name of the following piece of equipment? Is it a screwdriver, a knife, a multi-tool, a can opener? A lot of the stuff is becoming more and more familiar. There's a few camping outfitters in China that I've noticed. Decathlon, there's a sports equipment. Actually, I think it's a British sports equipment franchise that's found a lot of success, I find, in China. I see that pretty commonly in different places. I don't know how their market is, but you definitely see the big Decathlon stores here and there. And this would be my first handout reading here, and it's just kind of stories of survival. I think really appropriate to this presentation. Here we have a presentation. I'll give it to them and let them read through it together. Here you have a few exercises where you need to choose the correct word. So, Bir Jiraki couldn't imagine a worse fishing trip being possible. In October, he was in the Colorado Rockies and became trapped under a large rock, which rolled onto his leg and crushed it. Bill was only wearing jeans and shirt, and a snowstorm was about to set in. Bill began to get really cold and knew he would not be able to survive the night, and that he had to move into Boy Scout mode. Using some fishing line, a pocket knife, and some surgical scissors he had in his fishing box, Bill was able to amputate his own leg. He then crawled 100 yards to his truck and drove from the town, or people call them air ambulance. So I think there's 3 articles here. I can get 3 of these on 1 page of paper, just 3 quick short articles. So I gave him 5 minutes to go through those, read. This is the Andy's flight disaster, the soccer team. Actually, there's 4. And And this is the final exercise here that I got to, called Shipwrecked, and that's based on being trapped on an island here. Fill in the blanks using the correct form of modal expression of the verb in parentheses. So although he had Barry left his teams, James Rogers, what do you think here? Could already navigate like an expert sailor. He knew the Caribbean like the back of his hand. Since becoming a sea captain, James Rogers had escaped close calls many times. His ship, the clumsy plane, could outsail even the wind. Alright, so just a quick story about someone who is shipwrecked. More expressions about James Rogers. And then I showed them this clip here, clip from Castaway. I'm asking if anybody's seen the movie. I doubt it's going to work. Is it going to work? I doubt it's going to work. I forgot that this was in here. Let me see if it works. The pathway should still be there somewhere. This was a film that had, when I did this oh, there it is, good. No, it's not there, can't find it. So what I do here is I usually show them a clip of the film Castaway, the trailer, and then I say, all right. I show them a clip of the movie Castaway, and kind of as a lead-in. All right, here's the film I want to see. It's Tom Hanks, Will Hanks. I show them a clip. It's the trailer of Castaway, and then I give them this question: what object was the man given as a present from his girlfriend? Fire, volleyball, a kiss, or a pocket? All right, so congratulations. Easy question. You won. What did you win? Let's talk about what you won. All right. Congratulations. You have a free round trip. It's to anywhere in the world. And so what I have here is I have these little, tickets. I took these tickets here and I kind of photoshopped them and, just make a Xerox of them, cut off to say, give each group, okay, you got a ticket then to go anywhere in the world. Write down where you're going. So everybody writes down, where will you go? What will you do there? What will you eat there? How long will you stay there? So I have them all planning their trips based on the fact that they won this movie quiz contest here. And then I get them up in their plane. It goes a little bit like this. All right. I always remember when I was a kid in first grade, we did the teacher wanted to do a Japanese cultural sort of experience. So they had us all pretend we were in a plane. She actually had the chairs set up like we were in a plane, and she kind of went around with snacks, and we sat in those chairs for a little bit while we were pretending to fly to Japan. When we got off the plane, they tried to treat us like we were in Japan. It was pretty funny, but it always stuck with me. That was a very kind of imaginative way of presenting it. Oh no, then I go around and start shaking chairs and things. Well, it looks like we're having some trouble here, folks. Don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. I'm not sure if we're going to make it. Mayday, 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 mayday. And this is all automatic. This is all kind of automatic. And what happens is he crashes onto the water and comes up. And then we go on to this side. So I kind of go around and maybe shake the chair. Mayday, mayday, we're going down, we're going down. Right. Turn the lights off. Turn the lights back on. All right. You swam ashore at a desert island, you're not exactly sure where you are. You have 3 items in your pockets, and you can see 9 packages floating just off the shore. The current is very strong, and you can only retrieve 2 packages. What 5 items will you keep on the island, and what do you plan to use them for? There's a lot of triggers in there that you didn't kind of see. They weren't working here, or I was advancing through them too quickly. But what I would do during that whole sort of thunder and lightning thing is I'll turn the lights off maybe, and I'll have a spritzer, Shake chairs. Oh my God, we're going down, we're going down. Turn the lights back on, move on to this slide, and give each group this exercise here. All right, I'm going to show you some items that have washed ashore. You have 3 items. In your pocket, you can see 9. You currently very strong, you can only pick 2 more. So what 5 items will you keep on the island, and what do you plan to use them for? So you have 5 items that you can keep on the island. And let's see what they are. So you kind of go through these items one by one. What is this here? The SpongeBob. No, it's a keychain. What is this here? KFC. What is this here? Pocket knife. What is this here? An ornament. Buddha. What is this here? A lighter. What is this here? A pencil. An iPhone. A broken mirror. Some gloves, a hat, and a scarf. Lipstick. A flashlight. Also torch. Commonly, a lot of overseas students will know it as a torch also, just because of British influence. And a bottle of water. So, as the wrap up, you give them this exercise here, and this kind of you want to give them the most time to kind of work with this exercise, maybe 10 minutes amongst your groups. Decide what 5 items you're going to keep. Remember, you had 3 in your pocket, 3 of these items in your pocket, and 2 you pulled in from the surf. Let me go into this. And here I have a video of a rescue here. I didn't really like it, so you can't see it working right now. But it's and that's what it is. All right, so here comes the rescue. Here comes the rescue. Don't worry, you've been rescued.
Mr. Crowley, you want to go in? Yeah, absolutely. All right.
And this clip here, I actually had to go and I had to edit it because it was too long. And there were certain sections I didn't want. I didn't want them to see the face of the person they were rescuing, because I wanted them to think, okay, here comes the rescue. So they're rescued.
Everybody's safe and sound, we're all good to go.
I show them rescue. You're off the island now. Congratulations. Now, what will you do? What will you do? So just kind of go around and just kind of wrap it up with that person there. Now that you've gone through this experience of survival, what are your plans now? Will you write a book? Make a movie about it? What are you planning to do? Will you never speak of it again? Just kind of discussion to wrap things up. And I believe that is all for this presentation on survival. Now, something I also do, and I have done before in other classes I recall, is that when the 5 items that they pick, I'll go around and give each group's 5 items, and then I'll have another slide that says, this didn't work, or this didn't work, or this did work, this was good and this was bad, and kind of play who made the best choices based on sort of what the outcomes of these items. Like maybe this fell apart on the 3rd day, or the lighter was out of fuel, so it was useless, or something like that, or the flashlight needed batteries, or something like that, or the flashlight was actually solar powered. It'll last you forever. So I just kind of do that as a kind of a fun slide in there. I know I've done that before, but I didn't include that in here just because of time. I really wanted to kind of focus on this last question, what you will do now. And that's the end of this presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope there's activities in here that you can use in your classroom. Certainly the survival on a desert island is going to be an activity you're going to see in many classrooms and in many sort of lesson plans. It's kind of a very common, and it's a fun activity. You can do it in the sense of dinner parties and guests. You can always do that kind of same sort of format with different sort of approaches. But I hope you enjoyed it. Please click like and subscribe. If you did, any comments, I'd appreciate them in the section below, the comment section below. Anything I missed, anything, ideas that you think would work well with this, I'd love to know. And that's going to be all for this presentation. Thanks for watching. This is OUTTAKE ESL, and we will talk to you later. I want to hear it again tonight.